All right, welcome everyone. Just wait for some more people to roll up before we get into it. If you've never been to one of my live streams, generally I'll just talk about anything and everything. If you've got any questions, feel free to ask me. Yeah, that's pretty much where we're at. It's been a while since I put a video out. That's due to the old shoulder. Yeah, we're getting there. So we'll just hang out for a little bit longer. Hopefully some people jump in. We'll give it 5 or 10 minutes. If no one rolls up, then yeah, I'll end the stream early. But yeah, welcome to anyone that is watching tonight. As I said, if you have any questions, feel free to let me know and ask them in the chat, and I'll answer them for you. It can be 80 series or 90 series related, anything technical. Yeah, or even just trip related. If you got any questions you'd like answered on that, what to take, that type of thing, especially going remote, more than happy to answer those questions. If you haven't done so already, please head over and hit that subscribe button on the page. It does help me out. It's greatly appreciated. And yeah, it helps me get some more content out to you guys. Apparently I have some audio problems. Let's have a look here, eh? What's my problem here? So I got bad audio, but I don't have bad audio. Dirty GQ, it's been a while. How you doing, bud? What's been happening? How's your shoulder going? Any bad thing about these live streams, you can't put music on in the background, because then they mute the whole thing afterwards. It's kind of a pain in the backside. I'd like to put some music up, but have to work on that for next time, maybe. Have some background music happening and playing. More importantly, how's your rig going? Mine's slowly getting there. I don't know if you've jumped over on Instagram lately. I have a little bit over there. It's worth checking out. Current mods, that type of thing. So what we're going to discuss tonight, my recent mods. You're not bad, just chilling. Shoulder's not good, but what can you do? Well, you could get a second opinion. That's what I'm doing. Because I have 50% strength in my right arm and 60% movement in my right shoulder. So I'll definitely be getting a second opinion on that and look at possibly getting some more surgery done so I can get some more movement back. But I won't know until I obviously speak to a surgeon. So I've got to organise that shortly. The Lurker, how you doing? I recognise that name from one of my previous streams, I reckon. You have to remind me what you drive again. So yeah, Dirty GQs is the self-explanatory, but I'm going to assume it's a 90 series, potentially. That's what the channel started out as. And there will be some more 90 series content coming in November, I believe. Be some major stuff. Major stuff to Sox car. Sox 90 series. Yep, got 90. Cool. Easy. Easy. So what I might do, I might flick you over. I don't know if any of you guys are on my Instagram or not. So I've been doing a little bit of wiring lately. So what I'll do, I'll see if it's going to work for me. Might do. You have to give me a sec. I've got to fix this. I love it. Love technology. It's great when it works. All right, so I need to get it there. What have I got enabled here? That. No. Be that one. I reckon that'll work. All right, let me try this again, eh? I'm going to switch scenes and I'm going to load it up, but you should be able to keep hearing me. Here we go. All right, cool. So, every time I change something, I've got to change the window capture. All right, cool. I'm going to do a bit of a zoom in here for you. By the way, if you have any questions on any of this, so yeah, let me know. We'll start from up here. So this is my Instagram page. If you haven't been on my Instagram. And how am I going to do this here? To read chat at the same time. Hold on a minute, I might need to do this. Pop out the chat. Then I can see the chat, you see. And I can put that over here. Cool, now I can read it. So what do you say? How's your rig? You did get 2 more dots to look at it and they say I can't do anything about it. Nah, get another opinion again, dude. Keep shopping, someone can do something about it. How's your rig going? My GQ is sleeping. Ended up getting a GU Patrol. TD42 turbo diesel. Oh, okay, nice. Only problem is still a Patrol. You know my thoughts on Patrols after what happened with me. Yeah, anyway. Let me have a quick look here. Might need to flick on this screen and move the chat over to that as well. Yeah, my rig's going alright. I've done a fair bit. There's one mod I've done that I haven't shown anyone yet, but I'm still kind of testing it out and going to give a bit of a review on it. Alright. So, yeah, I'll move this back over here again. So I did some wiring. We'll go from the start, I think. That's the start there, so more or less. So I added here some light force lights like I had on my 90 series. And I'll move the chat back over here now. Now I can see what's going on. Back over here. Yeah, so I added some light force Rock 20 Ultra Floods like I had on my 90 series under the awning. But I also grabbed some steady rock lights for the rear upper tailgate area. So I put an amber one on that side. I've got a really bright white one on the other side. Now, I was like, do I keep that going and just leave it as that? But then I figured if I go back to the amber, I don't really have enough light on the right-hand side than I do on the left. And it's a little bit dark on the left-hand side to the right with the white light. So I've ordered another couple of lights, wait for them to show up, and then I'll hook them in. So yeah, that's with both on. And you see the white light just completely overpowers the amber. But yeah, amber light at night just for cooking and that type of thing. And just the white light. That was that one there. See, there's my kind of average picture. You can see where I've mounted them. So this was when I mounted the white one, and then down there was the amber one. Have the old man taking his rig out? Okay, fair enough. So yeah, that's that one there. And then for that wiring, I had a custom light force switch made up. So amber on the left, white on the right. I just added their rock light logo to it. It was just a bit easier than trying to find something that kind of matched those other lights. And that does the job. Steady dual USB port, and there's a side light button. I may put that into a dual switch as well, run another couple of relays, and maybe put some amber ones on the side later on. Another option I could possibly do. Hope the audio is alright. Is the audio alright, guys? I'm not sure. I'm using a mic I haven't used in probably about 12 months. So yeah, obviously there were the lights I used. So there's a 2700K amber LED rock light, and then a surface LED rock light there. So now I'm thinking, did I order the right rock light? I'm not sure if I did. Might have ordered a 1500K one. I have to check that now. The other thing I did, added in the Clearview drop slide now. I had problems with this. What is good? Sweet, no worries. Thank you. Yeah, so I had problems with that slide originally. When I put it in, I couldn't actually lift it up because the handle, what was my problem with it? The fridge sat too close. I'll have to try and find a picture of it. Yeah, the fridge was too far forward on that slide, and the handle would impact it, and I couldn't get it all the way up to slide it in. So I spoke to Clearview, and they were really good to deal with. So Clearview said when I called them, they spoke to the engineer, and he said get an extended handle to clear that fridge. So that's the Mike Coolman 69 litre dual zone fridge freezer. So I got the extended handle. I have about 20mm clearance off the back glass. So yeah, that actually worked out for me. So that was all right. So that's in. So that helps me with my shoulder as well. Obviously in here. Here's just with it where I got the lights mounted on some custom brackets. Had all that done. So just the light force ones there. They work really well. Yet to test it out. I'm going on a trip next week somewhere. Haven't decided where yet. Of course, I'm going to plug the stickers. If you're after a sticker, I got stickers worth $10 each plus postage. I was going to do them Australia wide. It does actually cost me a bit more on the prepaid envelope. So, but I might still do them to $10 Australia wide. We'll see how we go though. So if you're after a new sticker, they're not that big. I'll grab one out real quick. So I made these a lot smaller than the original stickers I had. So these here, I'm going to switch back quickly. So the stickers aren't that big, you know, compared to a stubby holder. You know, 2 stubby holders wide, pretty much. Yeah, stickers are there if you guys are interested. Send me a message, and I'll give you details and work out PayPal or bank transfer if you like. And we can do that as well. So back to this here. This still isn't where I want it to be. Why is this not smaller? Up. That's better. That's better. There we go. All right, cool. Pop out the chat here again. No, I don't want to open that up either. Why do I always click the wrong things, hey? So back to the other things I've been doing. This was my wiring I did for the cruiser. I made a little power distribution board with a 6-way fuse block in it and a 50 amp circuit breaker just so I can kill power to the whole system. I wired it all up, made it all neat and tidy, or as tidy as I could, and then I added a SIG socket on the top there. I might redo it and make it a little bit longer, just so I get a bit more room for things in the cruiser. If you're looking at doing something like that, it's pretty straightforward. If you need any advice on any 12-volt stuff, let me know. I can help you out with that. What else was there? There was my cargo barrier. So this was the highest cargo barrier, which obviously is not ADR compliant, but it has been modified to fit on the drawers, and it follows the contours of the cruiser pretty well and keeps everything nice and tidy in and behind. For your 90 series guys, I think a 120 Prado barrier may fit, but I'm not sure on that one. What else we got here? Oh yeah, so this is when I was designing it. So we cut it along the bottom, added a bit more steel, re-welded it, added brackets onto it, got it all fitting in there, all nice and neat. For the barrier, there's another one of my mods lately. And that's about where I'm up to at the moment. Obviously got a rear locker in it, haven't even used it yet. I had to rebuild the diff. Yeah, that's where I'm at for that pretty much. Everything to show you there. Yeah, any questions on the mods? Any advice? Yeah, ask away. I'm here to answer your questions. That's not a problem either. What else we got? Live chat there, cool. Yeah, so what else was I going to discuss? Let me just go to my story. So yeah, so that was my recent mods. future trips. So I'm considering starting a subscriber trips actually. So if you're subscribed on YouTube, follow me on Instagram. I may do something with subscribers if you guys are interested. That's one thing I'd like to do. Get the bit more of the community involved in coming out on trips. If I do the trips, they will probably be remote trips. I'm not going to be doing much in the way of tough tracks. Excuse me, not yet anyway. I'm not there yet. I still suffer a bit of PTSD from the accident. So, and I haven't really tried any tough tracks in the cruiser yet. What else? What other mods do I have for it? Pretty much at the stage I was at with the 90 series in relation to mods now. The 90 series are still carrying jerry cans in the back. I do want to do a future mod of a water tank in the second row and a false floor, like a 2-level floor, but that's down the track yet. I've still got to sort that out. Yeah, trips will be cool. Look, I do plan to get over back into the high country, even though my trip didn't work out last year and it cost me a car and almost my life. But yeah, it'll be happening. I have to work that out again. Obviously, I'm not going to go down the Halkwa Hills track again. I'll be avoiding that one. But yeah, I'd like to do a, if it's a couple of weeks or something out there. I am planning something with a company over in Melbourne actually to do a trip with, and just do a bit of promotion for them. It's a company that I support because they do good work and they're good people. I own one of their products. No way is sponsored or endorsed by them. So it's just something I like to do. So that may be an option for those interstate people that aren't here. There was a slight discussion earlier this year on doing a trip over to the Simpson, Simpson again. That's on the cards potentially. Hello, Stuart, Mr. Cat, it's a mate of mine. He knows who I'm talking about. I'm just not mentioning anything yet because it's not confirmed. There's a bit of a chat, and he's like, "Yeah, we'll tee something up." So, yeah. So the Simpson is apparently on the cards for next year. Oh boy, I got a wild headache today, guys. Sorry, a bit tired. What else am I looking at doing? There's the Bins 4-wheel drive track. That's a 10-day trip. So if you set up for a remote, then that's something I could maybe do as a subscriber trip. It's 2,000 Ks, 10 days. Obviously you'd be starting in Adelaide and we work our way up. So yeah, that's that part of things. So subscriber trips on the cards. I am contemplating releasing the GPX files of my tracks. That'll probably be on Patreon. That'll be a subscriber thing on there. So obviously it doesn't cost you anything to subscribe on YouTube, but yeah, it'll be under a subscription tier on Patreon when I finally set it up. I do have a Patreon account, I just haven't used it or done anything with it yet, and I've got to really buckle down and start doing some work. So for the subscriber trips, it'll probably be over on there. It wouldn't cost you much a month, to be honest, for that type of thing. For the maps and that. But yeah, so that's right with that. So yeah, anyone want any tips on remote? Did I pick up any goodies from the expo? Maybe. Maybe I did. Maybe I didn't. Actually going to do a video on what I did pick up. I guess I can show you. Pick it out. So, have upgraded the GPS as well. I have the HEMA HX2. I picked it up for a good price. It came with some extra goodies as well. I'll show you that in a minute. So, that's going to be bad on the reflection, isn't it? Woo! That's terrible. Have we go that way? There we go. Kinda. Got it boot itself up. Or if I turn turn the light down here so it doesn't blow it out. That's not bad. Turn that off too. So yeah, this is the HEMA HX2. What was wrong with the 80? Yeah, I'll tell you about that in a minute. So this thing booted itself up. So this is effectively a little Android tablet loaded with the HEMA maps. And what I've seen on this so far is actually really good. So I'll be doing a comparison video on my old tablet versus this one. And with the old app versus this one too. So it's really hard for me to show you anything on here because it's just blowing it out. Here we go. Kind of like that. So gives you on-road, off-road maps, that type of thing. Now to say no, I don't want to shut it down. But yeah, the brightness blows it right out. So yeah, pretty good. I like it. Comes with a really good mount as well. Let's turn it off for a moment. Yet to test it. So it's something I'll be doing. So what was wrong with the 80 on the last trip? So that actually happened 3 hours into the trip, but I persisted with it. Alright, so what happened to the cruiser? So when I left Adelaide, heading towards Port Augusta, I noticed my fuel consumption was up a fair bit. I was doing like 15, 16 litres per 100. I was usually about 12.5 to 13. And I didn't think much of it at the time. I just kept going. Did the whole trip. I don't know if you guys have watched it. If you haven't, head over to YouTube and check out that Central Australia Tour 2022 video. I'll be releasing that trip as a GPX file for your mapping software too. It's definitely going to be on there. I've already got it saved on the computer here. So yeah, what I did then. Come on, too bright. There we go. Yeah. So what happened was I did my whole trip. Used a fair bit of fuel. I hit Maree at the data track. Now I don't know if you saw in the last bit of the video when I was showing the car right at the end. There was a puddle under the car, but that was diesel. So I dropped number 6 injector, and my intake manifold gaskets needed replacing. So there's a bit of a gap. So it's pissing diesel out down the side of the engine onto the ground. I realised that, and I just had to drive back instead of stopping somewhere and causing possible engine lockup. So yeah, I had to drive from it was half the data track and back home. I think it was a 8 or 9 hour day. That was to get myself home, and I had all the injectors replaced. 2 of the tips of the injectors were burnt from heat, and they'd never been done. So had all that done. Had it on the dyno, tested the tested the injector pump, make sure that's flowing all right. So I got 355,000 on the pump, and doesn't need replacing yet. Still running fine. And yeah, all good now. So that's it. Getting back to that HEMA. If you have any more questions on that, yeah, feel free to ask. Getting back to that HEMA, it came with 2 extra things. So it came with this book here. So this is a 1,000 plus free and budget campsites, where to camp guide in Australia. It's worth like 80 something bucks, I think, 60 something bucks. I have to look it up. But it's just full of campsites, if they're free or whatnot, where to find them, everywhere in Australia. It's like a big atlas, and it's and it's got maps in it too, which is really cool. So and you can see the areas where you want to stay. So think of it as like the HEMA maps in paper form, but with all the campsites and that listed around the place, which is pretty cool. So it came with that, and then it came with this one here. So the 12th edition Australia map. So this will open up into a big map of Australia. Now I've got the 11th edition, which I'm marking all my trips on, so I'll just keep that as a backup somewhere spare there. So yeah, that's really handy. So they came with it. What else? What else? I'm not sure what else. That's it, really. But not a whole lot to really report at the moment. I said still doing stuff on the shoulder, and yeah, she's sore. She's sore. I'm not doing very many hours a week at work. I honestly don't know how long that work side thing's going to last, to be honest, but we'll see how we go. Yeah. Any questions? Feel free to ask. Other than that, yeah. 12-volt system's working well in the car. Got solar on the roof as well. Excuse me. Yeah, I hadn't mentioned that I put solar on the Cruiser. So Cruiser now has a 110-watt solar panel on the roof, which is keeping the battery charged up nicely. With the fridge running. With the freezer running, I'm not sure. I would assume that with the freezer running, it's not going to be cycling in and out heaps anyway, because it would be in a deep freeze. But yeah, yet to test the that. I've obviously tested it out on my last trip with the solar, and it worked pretty well. Didn't have any flat batteries or anything. I'm going to add a lead for my solar blanket though to the DC charger. So if I do want to park up somewhere in the shade and still run solar, I can just run the blanket out. So yeah, that's pretty much it. So not really much to report. Not sure where I'm going to go next week for a trip. I'm going to go for about 3 or 4 days. I was going to do Outback South Oz again, but with all the rains and everything's flooded. Simpson's all flooded. Birdsville track's closed. Bernadetta track's closed. So I can't even go up that way if I wanted to. But yeah, if you have any suggestions in SA, let me know. Otherwise, I'll find something. Even if it's like a national park campsite or something. Yeah. So, anyone else got plans for their rigs? So now you got a GU, Dirty GQ. Got to change your name now. Going back to Soul Creek. Never heard of it. Well, where's that? I don't have a clue where Soul Creek is. So worth Googling. Shall I Google it? Shall we have a Googles? Let's have a look. Soul Creek. I'm assuming it's in Victoria. No idea. Soul Creek. S-O-U-L-E. Soul Creek. No? What is it? Obviously, Cape York's on the cards too. At some point. When I can move properly again. The place I was in last time in SA. Ah, Salt Creek. Salt Creek. You mean this place? Up the Coorong. Are you asking me if I'm going back there, or are you going there? Probably this time of the year you wouldn't be getting across Tea Tree Crossing. I'd say she'd be pretty underwater. Especially with all the water coming down the Murray, I'd be filling up those lagoons there. Sure. Rope to beach ports on the cards. I'm waiting on Stuart actually to lead that one. Yeah. Look, Coorong's cool, but I've done it so many times that going back there would just be kind of boring again. I need to go to a different spot. So, am I going? No. No. Want to try somewhere new. So, I like to try and go to new places, not the same old places. That way I can film content for you guys and you get to experience something new. So, did you like that video with me and Sock? Just trying to get him to come out. He's finally got a fridge in his car. Oh yeah, it'll be full of water. You wouldn't be crossing there, no way. Yeah, I'm trying to get out on a few trips there. I could do Bendelby Ranges. Done that twice now. Obviously, I didn't do it last time. It wasn't in my car. It was in Sock's car. That was in January this year. Trying to think where else I could go. Obviously, I could do the Mount Chambers. I could go to Arkaroola. I said last time I tried my Arkaroola trip was in the 90, and that's when I wiped out the alignment through the washouts on the roads. But apparently, a lot of the roads will be closed up in the Flinders right now. I know one of the properties got 30 millimeters of rain overnight, and that's pretty underwater. They actually had to close this property today. So yeah, I'm hoping I can get out somewhere. Our fire ban kicks in on the 1st of November generally, depending where you go. Some places are the 15th of November, from what I've seen. So, we make a good show. Yeah, it's just trying to get him out on a show. So, and get him, I can get him on camera, but getting him to try and film anything, yeah, that's interesting. But yeah, there'll be some solo stuff I'm going to do. I'm going to be doing some overnight camps, I think. Will be something I'll be bringing onto the channel. Obviously, the tech videos are still there. They're just not as full on as they used to be because I just can't do the work at the moment, not with my shoulder the way it is. What else? Anything else you want to see on the channel? I'd like to review a few people's vehicles around the place if I can find them, but no one's really put their hand up for it when I've asked about it, so I haven't really done that yet. Yeah, it's pretty much covered everything that I wanted to cover today. It's going to be a short stream, not a long one. Yeah, glad you stopped by. Glad everyone that stopped by. Appreciate it. Yeah, 80 series is almost done. It came with a worn winch and the winch and the ARB winch bar, so I didn't have to buy a winch for it. And that winch is like $3,000 just by itself. So I had a win there. Rebuilt the swivel hubs, replaced the front diff, replaced all 4 uni joints, rebuilt the rear diff, put a locker in it. Need to do probably suspension at some point. It is 10 years old, so that's something that'll be coming with 80 series. Whether I stick with a 2-inch lift or I go to a 3, I don't know. Haven't decided what I'm going to do yet. If I do a 3-inch lift, then I could go a bit more extreme with the what I want to do with the suspension side of things. But stick with a 2-inch lift, not really. But I'm not really into doing tough tracks either. And I like to keep my rig in one piece and not damage it. So my handbrake works, surprisingly. I adjusted it 10,000 Ks ago and it still works. So the problem with the 80 or any Toyota handbrake is I don't know if you know much about the old Ford Falcons, like the XCs, but they had like a little star wheel and it had like a little tag that would lock into the tooth. You'd have to pull the tag back to wind the wheel and then let it go and it'd lock it in place. Now the Toyotas don't have it. It's just a freewheeling wheel. So if you leave your handbrake on, you try driving, it makes it spin somehow. Or reversing makes it do the same thing. It loosens it off. It's just a terrible thing. But Superior do a handbrake mod for it. If you got stretched cables, and it changes the the rake of the handbrake and pulls the cable tighter. But that's not really a solution either. But it works. It's not hard to fix it. Does have to pull the caliper off and pull the disc off and adjust it, which is what, 5 wheel nuts, 2 bolts, and then slide the disc off and turn the little star wheel. Or if you're smart enough, you rotate your disc around and get a little screwdriver in there and adjust it via the hole. But yeah, it's not hard. So of course you've got the handbrake on the back of your transfer case, so your car doesn't go anywhere, which is good. Good thing about the Patrols, it's the handbrakes. Those ZD30s, not so much. Yeah. Other than that, I don't really have a lot to go. UHF's in, head unit's in. Upgrade the front speakers. Got to do the rear speakers when it's not raining. It's raining here at the moment. I was going to do it today, but didn't get a chance. That's about where I'm at. So, yeah. All right. I might end the stream a little bit early, I reckon. Only a couple of people here. So, thanks for sticking around, guys. If you have any questions, like next time I do a live stream, I'm going to put a post up. So, put your questions below. What I will do though, before we do that, I'm gonna flick you my Instagram link, because I post a lot more content on Instagram at the moment with photos and whatnot than I do with YouTube. Because yeah, there's a video I've got in the works on YouTube on one of my mods that I'm just doing some evaluation on it. And then I'm going to finish that video off and upload it. So it is ready to go, more or less. I just have to film the last piece of it. But I'm just still testing all that out. Oh yeah, a couple of other issues with the Cruiser. Rear main seal's leaking. And the power steering pump's leaking right now. Rear main will require, obviously, gearbox out. If I'm doing that, I'm going to have to do the clutch at the same time. Not going to put an oily clutch back in it, which is no good. So yeah, but if you want to head on over to Instagram there and hit that follow button, and yeah, what I will do, I will put a post up over there asking for questions for the next live stream when I decide to do one, and that way I can actually go through them instead of trying to wing it here like I'm doing right now. So alright guys, take it easy, thanks for hanging around, and I'll catch you on the next one.